Yeah, folks, it's Rune Smith back for day 4 video. And day 4's question: what is your favorite drink and or food snack to have while you're painting? Excuse me, that's that virus from hell I was talking about. It's an interesting question because even though I have a mini fridge right next to where I paint, I usually don't eat or drink while I'm in here. I probably should at least drink because obviously dehydration is a thing, but interestingly enough, I really don't. So I figured, without really having an answer to that question other than I don't, take this video to do a few other things. So, first of all, hobby related news, or I should say painting challenge related news. Here you go. A good look at my official super secret side project, which is Bielfigor the Soul Reaper from Andrea Miniatures, 54 millimeters. Or, as I said, as Warcraft 3 fans will probably no doubt draw the parallel, Arthas when he was still a Death Knight. So, yeah, I played around with him a bit earlier. Got him on his base, which was interesting. There was a lot of major remodeling there with a rotary tool to get him to fit, as well as there was a big old pour tab right here where his head is supposed to go. I was talking to my wife earlier about this, and I mentioned that sometimes, as I'm sure many of the older hobbyists also get, I get a little nostalgic for white metal. And then I work with it again, and I realize that it can be a nightmare like that. But let's take a look at the other parts. This is the head I chose. You actually get two options. One with the hood, one without. I like the hood one, so. And then you've got one hand with these making a beckoning gesture, which, yeah, anybody's going to come to him. And his sword, which, again, if you are a Warcraft fan, will note that it looks quite a bit like Frostmourne. Used to play World of Warcraft myself. I stopped with the Mist of Pandaria expansion. I forgot he's got a little chain, whatever you want to call this. Loincloth, tabard, whatever. Anyhow, I used to play World of Warcraft. Stopped with the Mists of Pandaria expansion. I did not care for the talent tree reboot, redux, whatever you want to call it. So, no more. Well, I do still play Diablo 3. I just got it for PlayStation 3. So anyhow, realize that I'm kind of technically late on doing the side quests for the boot camp, but I figured, I'll just talk about other hobbies that I do and general stuff. So first of all, other hobbies. Let's take a look at these. I do model kits, which, yeah, shocking, huh? Considering I already showed you that I have some back there, but these are two of my most recent ones. This is an F-Toys ad that I got from eBay. I did the base myself. And I guess technically the F-Toys are pre-painted, but I put it together and painted it anyways because I'm a hobbyist and a miniature painter and model builder / painter, and we don't do anything the easy way. Including leaving pre-painted kits. Yes, I can speak. Pre-painted kits, pre-painted. So I built it up and I painted it, airbrushed it, gave it a nice wash afterwards. And I was originally I was trying to figure out what kind of base to do, and I'm like, well, everybody always sees it in snow because of Hoth, but they were on indoor, so I did do it on a sort of, not really a foresty base, I guess, because there's no trees, but hey, it's close enough. Obviously, we got some clump foliage, some flock, branches, and then we have the X-Wing fighter. Technically, it's Luke's X-Wing fighter, but the figure it came with was terrible because this is a snap-tight kit. But the thing I learned about snap-tight kits is that if you put a little work into them, they actually come out pretty good. So, again, made the base myself. It's just, there you can see the wood and foam core board, which I painted like stone because I was thinking of the temple floor from A New Hope. And again, this was technically a pre-painted kit, but put it together, primed it, actually did it in, what do they call it? My mind just went blank. Sub-assembly. Yeah. Did it in sub-assembly. So you can see where I did the paint weathering there. I used the hairspray technique. I'm sure you guys know what that is. If you don't, you put on the base coat, seal it, put on some hairspray, let that dry a bit, spray paint on top of it, let that dry, and then with a brush or toothpick or Q-tip, you work away at it until you make little chips in the paint, like that, to reveal the paint underneath. And it gives it that weathered sort of look. And I did a little pigment back here with the engines to make them look sooty. So, there you go. That is one of my other hobbies. Let's see. Other ones. Well, let's take a walk here. Another hobby of mine is role-playing. This is our gaming shelf, along with some stuffed animals. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff on there. A lot of it is second edition, because that's what I grew up playing. Still like it, but you get some other stuff in there. You get some Shadowrun. Down at the bottom, there's some Vampire the Masquerade, Hunter the Reckoning. What is that? There's some Star Wars down there. There's Robotech from Palladium. Up here we have World of Warcraft. That's a shocker. Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay Tabletop. And the newest game that I love is Pathfinder. And then box sets. Lots of box sets and board games. It's another one of mine. Another hobby? Yeah. This, by the way, was originally going to be our gaming room, but we got a little bit of a bigger group than we expected, so had to move it out there, but still appropriate. So I collect them. I use them for, I don't like call them martial arts, but I guess that's the best thing you can really describe it as. Yeah, so some of the one of mine. I love reading. That's actually, I have a lot more books than that. That's one bag full. You'll see more as we come out here. Books. Lots of books. And a cool Viking ship. I love Vikings. Couldn't guess that from my name, could you? More fun stuff. 2 Viking era swords and Celtic sword. This is actually my leather mask here. Got it at a fair. Cool tabard, not tabard. What you call it? Wow, my brain is not functioning today. Hanging. Yeah, let's go with that for now. Some other cool stuff. There's a Bowron. It's a drum. My zombie bunny, Virgil. Darth Maul, the crow hanging out. And then I have one other hobby of note to show you, and that is that I do draw. It's a shame I don't do it more often. I used to, but I can show you some of my work. So my wife really liked Groot from, Guardians of the Galaxy, especially the baby one, so I drew her baby Groot. And on back, pull this off briefly. Don't tell her I did this, she'll kill me. Adult Groot. Looking much angrier and meaner and scarier. So, okay, we'll put him back up now. So there's the other hobbies I do. Veterans of the long hobby. Well, I've watched a lot of stuff in the past, I'll be honest, and I can't remember all of it. I really wish I could. I can tell you there are a lot of people on YouTube who have inspired me in a lot of ways. Talk about a few of those. Some of them you might recognize. Others, well, I'll mention them and see if I can, being technologically inept, link their channels. But anyhow, one of my primary influences would have to be Dr. Faust from the Painting Clinic. If you've never seen his stuff, I learned a lot about painting miniatures from him, including how to do things like skin, gems, layering in general. I think he's a really, really great artist, and he knows his stuff, and he knows how to explain it well, which is a good thing in this. Another one, same sort of vein, gentleman, I don't know his name. His channel's name is Buy Painted. Buy as in buying things, B-U-Y, who actually inspired me to try my hand at airbrushing again. I had done it briefly years ago. And I didn't like it much for modeling, building models and things like that. And I didn't really try it with miniatures because, well, at the time, it just didn't seem like a feasible thing to me. Then I watched his channel and realized that I was completely mistaken about everything I knew. He is amazing. He has made his own page now, but he still puts some stuff up from time to time. You can watch his older tutorials. I'm sorry, the man is amazing with an airbrush. I have never yet come across anybody like that. So he's another one. Played Painted. Great guy. Love listening to his stuff. Does a great job painting. Seen some of his stuff up on YouTube, and really great guy. Seems to know his stuff, and as I said, I love listening to his videos. He poses a lot of very interesting questions, a lot of questions that make you think, and a lot of questions that are just cool to answer. You know, he was one of the guys who did the whole "How did you get into the hobby?" videos a couple months ago. So I know he's in the painting challenges here. Another one, surprisingly or maybe unsurprisingly, I don't know, depending on how you feel about it, I do like Warboss Tay's videos. Again, somebody who really knows his stuff, and his figures come out great. I've enjoyed his tutorials in the past, or Taytorials as he calls them, and the guy is hilarious. Igor always cracks me up. So does Lewis. The two of them just are great. And they always give me a chuckle, which is, good, because in my opinion, people need to laugh a lot. If you don't laugh enough, obviously life just gets to you. So those are some of the people. A couple other people. I don't know if you guys have ever seen DM Scotty, the DM Craft. Amazing. Again, he does mostly terrain, although he has shown painted miniatures, but he mostly shows you how to make really, really nice looking terrain for very, very inexpensive. If you haven't checked him out, I highly recommend him, especially if you're into doing like role-playing games, or if you just need to make a lot of terrain and you don't want to spend a lot of money on it. He does some amazing stuff with cardboard, foam core, and just, he made, to give you an idea here, this is something I got for Christmas. My mom bought this for me. Love her. And it's funny because originally she didn't want me to have anything to do with D&D. But I do now, and she's accepted it. So I put this on my Christmas list, and she bought it for me. I love the model. I don't have it painted yet. I actually have it sitting over here. I'm waiting because this one's going to take me a while. But here you can see. It's amazing. Love this. However, if you go to DM Scotty's channel, DM's Craft, he built a purple worm out of cardboard tubes. Here, I think he used both empty paper towel tubes and toilet paper tubes and hot glue, and the thing looks incredible. If you didn't know any better, you'd assume it was professionally made. So just check him out. DM's Craft. Like I said, I'll see if I can link some of these. This year, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what Jamjar 34 is doing. His stuff looks really, really interesting. Idic Beer is another one. Love watching his channel. He has a lot of great advice. He shows some pretty cool stuff. A lot of his Tyranid stuff is very, very interesting. I don't do a lot of Space Marines. In fact, I don't do really 40K at all. However, I have watched him do some of his scenery, watched him do some of his painting, explain some of his weathering techniques. Does some great tutorials, and just seems like a genuinely nice guy. Like watching his channel. Trying to think if there's anybody else big that I really... Oh! Eons of Battle. They're a couple of young guys, but they have a lot of interesting ideas for bases. If you guys haven't seen them, highly recommend their channel. So, yeah. I think in general that covers a lot of the big ones. Now, let me clarify that as saying that Jamjar and Idic aren't the only ones that I'm looking forward to. A lot of you guys have cool projects out there. I just, I'm horrible with names, guys, and I apologize for that. And I'm sure you'll see a lot of comments from me once this thing gets going about projects. And I'm going to be watching a lot, or trying to be watching a lot of stuff while I do my own stuff. Funnily enough, I'll be running right into the 1st of May, which is going to be my first R&R day because that's right before my birthday. It'll be next Saturday. And we're going to go to the Field Museum downtown to see a new exhibit they have on Vikings. So that's going to be fun. But that'll be my first R&R day, which is the first official day. Hopefully, though, we'll get some stuff done before then. So anyhow, this video turned out much longer than I anticipated. Sorry, guys, but I hope you enjoy it. Again, questions, comments, always welcome. It's great hearing from you guys, liking, watching all the other videos you guys have put up. And Day 5 will be coming up shortly. Take care.